You've been silenced for very long, and every time you try to resist, they put you in jail.
For my children.
You've controlled your mind for so long to the point where you let them decide what your kids should learn, what gender they will be. And now you've let them to come for the whole nation, destroying what Britain once stood up for. They use this media machine not to report the facts to you, but to tell you what to think and what you should do.
Always be careful.
They're hiding the facts behind the noise, and they're recruiting pedophiles to tell you how to behave. And these politicians who meant to protect you, they're out there smashing your head on the ground. And no jail time for them. This road we've been on has been very dark for a very long time, and it's time to shine a light on the truth and advocate for justice. We the people make the nation, and if we don't stand up and advocate for justice, then we certainly won't make this nation great again. So we have to create a place for that, a place that can contribute to a more informed society. And that place is Next Frontier Media.
Never once did I say we cut council tax.
You got to cut taxes.
Cut taxes.
Lower taxes.
We will cut taxes. We can do better for council taxpayers. Never once in the campaign did I say we'd do that.
Warwickshire Reform Party leaflet said, we will cut your taxes. The Worcestershire Party leaflet said, we will reduce waste and cut your taxes. That sounds like promises to cut taxes to me.
We will cut taxes. We will cut taxes. I knew it would be impossible given how tough the finances were.
At the local level, which is where indeed local elections take place, the leaflet said, we will cut your taxes.
When I say something, I keep my word. Worcestershire's a total basket case. You know that. I know that.
I want to pay tribute to Jeremy Corbyn, who's a friend as well as a colleague.
You wouldn't call Jeremy Corbyn a friend?
No.
We have to make the case for freedom of movement.
We don't want open borders. Freedom of movement has gone and it's not coming back.
Cutting off power, cutting off water. Sakir?
Well, I think that Israel does have that right. I was not saying that Israel had the right to cut off water, food, fuel or medicine. Wounded by the media, the Sun in this city, a hurt for this city. And I certainly won't be giving any interviews to the Sun during the course of this campaign.
Did you write an article for some newspaper the other day? Surely that's not going to gain you any support across the Northwest.
Would you write for them again, Sakir?
I would do, yeah.
Can you guarantee that under your leadership, the 2019 Labour commitments to nationalise water, energy, rail, the Royal Mail, they'll all be in Labour's next election manifesto?
I've made that commitment.
Will you nationalise the big six energy companies, yes or no?
No.
No, you will not.
By the Home Secretary was the wrong decision, and I think it was a rushed decision.
In 2019, you said stripping her of her British citizenship was the wrong decision. She's lost her appeal to regain it. Should she be allowed to appeal again? Should she be allowed back here in order to face justice in the UK?
I think the court decision yesterday is the right decision. The Labour Party in opposition needs to be the Labour Party in power. And a government doesn't go on picket lines. A government tries to resolve disputes. I'm really pleased to be here this morning supporting the staff at McDonald's who are on strike. Air quality, climate change is the issue of our time, and as the Extinction Rebellion protest showed us this week, the next generation are not going to forgive us if we don't take action. I think they're wrong. I think their action is wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, patriots, truth seekers, digital warriors, welcome back to the show. As you already know, they got him. He doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to leave. They want to take him out, but he doesn't want to go. Do you know who that guy really is? Yeah, he goes by the name of Keir Starmer. I'm not sure if you guys have seen him. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. They want to get him out. We got him by the leg. We got his leg. We're pulling him out. He doesn't want to leave. Despite everybody can resign. Almost every single person can resign. But this guy will keep on holding on. He will not leave. Folks, we need to talk about the Labour Party. Actually, we need to talk about Keir Starmer, just himself, Keir Starmer. And we also need to talk about Nigel Farage. What the heck is going on? This guy somehow is becoming the same as all of them. He talks the same. He dressed the same now. He's recruited the same people. He's receiving money from the same people. And it's like, there's nothing different now. Nigel Farage, we're going to talk about it. I think this is bad, folks. I don't think this is a good way of going. It's just a dangerous president going on. I'm not sure what's going to happen if this guy wins an election. If this guy, is Nigel Farage going to bring any change? I'm not sure. But all we know is that we got Keir Starmer by the balls. Maybe I should say foot, as you can see from the video. And we're trying to pull him out. He doesn't want to leave. All right. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to cover a lot not a lot of stuff. I got 3 stories for you today. But before we go deep into the story, I want to just break some news. Breaking news. 2 boys, aged 12 and 13, have been rushed to the hospital after being stabbed at a school in North London. A police hunt for a teenager suspect is on the way. 2 boys have been stabbed. 12-year-old, 13-year-old has been stabbed and rushed to the hospital in North London. An urgent manhunt has been launched for a suspect. Police have identified the teenager boy, but they are obviously trying to get him. The attack unfolded at Kingsbury High School on Beacon Lane in Brent at 12:40. Not long ago. The condition of the boys who were stabbed is currently unknown. In the post on their website, Kingsbury High School said there have been a serious incident at the site. That's what they said. They also added that they have spoken directly to the parents and carers of the students, and they are involved of what is taking place. And they said the situation is under control. But right now, breaking news. Just want to tell you that 12-year-old and 13-year-old have been rushed to a hospital after being stabbed in school. 12-year-old and 13-year-old, and the suspect happens to be similar age. That is insane. That is insane. Something to look at. Something to look at, folks. That's crazy. Now, let's talk about Nigel Farage, folks. I want to talk about Nigel Farage before we talk about Keir Starmer. Should we do Keir Starmer first or Nigel Farage? Which one do you guys want to do? Should we do Nigel Farage first or Keir Starmer? Which one do you want to do, folks? Let me know. Let me know. We can do Nigel. I don't think this is not a good day for him. Something is happening to Nigel, folks, and somebody needs to start speaking out. Because what we've seen the past couple of days, or the past couple of months, is just been Nigel hunting. It's just been Nigel hunting the Tories, hunting the left, hunting anybody who can join, hunting anyone who can donate. And when somebody donates to you, they always come with a string attached. When big guys like Subrella Braverman, when big guys like Nadim Sawari joins, when big guys like Robert Jenrick join the party, they join because they want to secure their job. They join because they are promised to become foreign secretary. They join because you're going to promise them a nice, good ministry job. That's what they joined for, because they've been in a party. They've been the reason why the country is fucked up. Now they join your party. They don't join because they want to fix it. They join because they know the other vehicle won't get them in parliament again, won't keep them in parliament for long. So they jump to secure their jobs. That's what we've seen. Now, when you get funding and when you get billionaires from Qatar, when you get all these millionaires invested into the party, of course, they invest because they want you to do something for them. They don't just invest it because they care about Britain so much. Yeah, maybe they care about Britain, but they invest because they want a job. Zia Yusuf invests, and guess what? He has a good job now. It could probably he invested. I mean, maybe £1 million, maybe £2 million. How much money is invested into it? He's invested his money, and guess what? He has a good job secured. Maybe the next 10 years, Zia Yusuf might be the prime minister. I mean, to be fair, given the amount that he donated, that's a fair trade, folks. That's a good trade. Something is going on under the Reform UK party. We need to talk about it. So they're campaigning now. Obviously, they've been campaigning for a very long time. I appreciate that campaign. I think the social media platform has been very active. Something that Advance UK needs to fix. I've been very critical about Advance UK fixing the marketing, because the Advance UK marketing is kind of slow. We need to fix that. They need to fix that. So, but Nigel Farage, in comparison, they are doing very well in a sense. So this is one of their campaigns, one of their leaflet that they put out there. They campaigned, they told people, this is the promise that they gave to people, saying, hey, look, we're going to freeze immigration and we're going to stop the boat. We're going to scrap net zero to cut your energy bills. And then we're going to reduce the waste and cut your taxes. That's what they promised people. And when you see this sort of free promises, you're thinking, yeah, I mean, yeah, bills, yeah, too high. Energy bills, yeah, too high. I want that. Net zero, man, is ruining us. It's keeping everything expensive. Immigration, stop the boats. Yeah, that's a crisis that's been going on for very long. So that needs sorting. So, and the last one, reduce waste and cut your taxes. Yeah, cut taxes. That's noble, right? I mean, this makes sense, right? This seems like it makes sense to consider taking it. Now, but when you see what happens next, when you see them making these promises and then they don't keep up with it, you kind of have to ask yourself a question like, if they're already fumbling the bag right now, how will it be when they are in power, when there's so many billionaires who will be investing into them, who will be pulling the strings? If they can't stay grounded right now, how are we going to trust they're going to be grounded in Parliament, in Downing Street? How are we gonna trust them? Now, watch this video. This leaflet was produced, designed by Reform UK, and of course was leafleted by the people who work for them. Now, this leaflet was obviously brought into their conference yesterday. That they had a conference yesterday in Birmingham. Now, Nigel Farage was asked about this leaflet himself, and guess what? He denied everything about increasing tax. This is a problem. You don't promise people this and then you do the opposite. This is a problem that we've been seeing from the mainstream parties. They promise you this and they do the opposite. Now watch this video.
BBC Midlands Today. Hello.
Hi, welcome again to the West Midlands. Ron Mayor, BBC Midlands Today. I mean, you had tremendous success in this part of the world at the local elections in May last year. Your key promises were to reduce waste and cut tax. So what do you say to voters who might be feeling let down in places like Staffordshire, Warwickshire, where council tax is going up, and in Worcestershire, where one of your councillors, David Taylor, actually resigned over the weekend over plans to raise council tax by nearly 10%?
Well, Worcestershire's a total basket case. You know that. I know that. It's on the edge of bankruptcy. We are not in majority control in Worcestershire, so I take that out of the equation. But if we want to talk about Staffordshire, I want to talk about Warwickshire. First point, never once did I say we'd cut council tax. Never once. Never once.
So you see, when somebody comes in, when the politician says, we never said this, never once, with so much conviction, you sort of have to think, well, for a normal person listening to this at home, will instantly believe them, thinking, hey, he's saying it so much time, there's so much conviction. I'm sure he's probably double checked himself before he went out there and say, never once we've ever said we're going to cut taxes. And then when you go to the next slide, you see that they promised us that they're going to reduce waste and cut taxes. Now, I don't know about you folks, but my council tax went up. Of course, I'm in the, my area, Manchester is full of Labour, right? It's dominated with Labour. My council tax went up. And now I'm seeing things, I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, obviously, you have to pay, and you literally can't even negotiate. They send you a letter telling you, hey, you're going to pay more. And then you just have to pay. But when a politician tells you, before they get in, they tell you, hey, we're going to reduce it. And then they flip-flop it. It's like, okay, how are you doing that already, bro? That's a problem. That needs fixing. And for somebody who wants change, I can't be looking at this thinking, yeah, let's just ignore it. Let's move on. This is insane. Watch this.
Never once did I say we'd cut council tax. Never once. Never once.
So never once he ever said he was going to cut. And we're looking at what they've promised us, that they're going to cut taxes. They're going to reduce taxes. Now, then you have to ask yourself, if these guys call themselves right-wing party, I mean, why are they not advocating for cutting taxes? Because that's a problem, right? I mean, that's what the right-wing parties do. They kind of liberate in a sense where they reduce the control of the state to families. They make sure the families are working, making sure they take care of themselves, and they reduce the dependence from the family to the state. That's what right-wing parties do. They cut taxes, they cut waste, and they become very conservative in a sense where, you know, we're gonna shut immigration, or maybe we're gonna reduce immigration. We're gonna take care of our people, and we're gonna make sure we boost jobs up so everybody can actually benefit from the society that they live in. And the jobs will be obviously, you know, proper jobs that they will join and, you know, and feel enriched. But if this guy is saying we didn't promise you to raise tax, is he trying to imply that when he gets in, it will raise it as well, or it will keep the same? Because that's a problem. We need it for it to go down already. We need the tax to go down. So if you're telling us that you didn't promise us that you're gonna put it down, then does that mean it will stay the same or it will go higher? Because now you just said you didn't promise you're gonna reduce it. That's the problem, and that's not a good look for Reform UK. That's not a good look for Reform UK. Now, a letter was sent from the Labour Party back to the council in Worcestershire. Now, this is the letter that Reform, I believe it was Reform UK who asked for it. I believe it was Reform UK who asked to increase the council tax, and this letter was leaked. And obviously, I got hold of it, and we're going to show you here. And so this is the letter that was sent from the Ministry of Housing, Community and Local Government to Nigel Farage, because Nigel Farage asked the Ministry of Housing and Community and Local Government to increase council tax. This is what those guys respond to him with, and it's important that we read this because Nigel Farage just said that never once he ever asked us that he was going to reduce taxes. Well, maybe he meant he was going to increase, because this is a letter of the government responding to his request in increasing council tax. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to read the last line of the first slide, the last paragraph. Sorry. So it reads, I can confirm that the reports which is subject to the approval of House of Commons as a part of local government finance settlement on 11 February 2026 include a bespoke referendum principle for Warwickshire county councils of 9%. I don't understand any of that. There's some very blurry language here. The promises of 3% core principles, 2% adults. I'm assuming this is just a breaking down of it. 2% of adult social care receipts, and additional 4% following the council's request. That is important. 4% following the council's request. And obviously, who's running the council right now is obviously Reform UK. Well, not fully Reform, because obviously there is a little bit of Labour Party. There is a little bit of they don't have full majority, but they request. And this letter is a letter from the government to Nigel Farage. The government has not taken this decision to agree to this request lightly. It will be for council to take financial decision on setting council tax, having reached a clear agreement locally that additional increase are necessary for the council's financial recovery and sustainability. So you can tell the government did not want to increase the tax. They did not want to approve this, but they did, because obviously the council over there is kind of like fucked. The council is kind of fucked, and obviously this is a response to Reform UK asking to increase the council tax. And then obviously he's telling us that, oh, I've never increased the council tax. Here's a video of him saying, he's telling us that I've never promised you I was going to reduce council tax, even though there is leaflets of him telling us, you guys couldn't see this whole time. You guys couldn't see what I was showing you guys. Wow. Okay. This is what I was meant to show you. All right. This is what I meant to show you. Can you guys see the screen now? All right, I forgot. Sorry. Now, this is the screen that you guys meant to be seeing with me. This is the letter that the Ministry of Housing and Community and the local government sent back to Nigel Farage because Nigel Farage requested them to increase council tax. And he's telling us that, hey, well, he promised us that he's going to reduce waste and cut taxes. Well, here's a letter here's a response from the government to him after a request to increase taxes. I mean, to increase council tax. It's like these guys that just like how Keir Starmer thinks everybody is just gonna follow what he says. Just like Keir Starmer thinks nobody's gonna challenge him and he has all full majority to do what the fuck he wants to do. I think that's the same attitude Nigel Farage is showing now. He's trying to show that he can say what he wants and get away with it. And we've seen a lot of that in British politics, where politicians will say what they want. They will say anything they can to get their way, and then they will expect not to be held accountable. And of course, I think that time is over, because right now, I think the whole country is awake. There's a lot of people who are more awake than myself, even though I report on this all the time. There's a lot of people who are tuned in every single day to know what's going on. So politicians can't just come to us and say random stuff and then we just accept it. No. We're gonna do our research. We're gonna look up alternative voice. We're gonna see what you said before, and then we're gonna see what you say now. And if it doesn't match up, we're gonna make our decision, and we're gonna make sure we scrutinize you along the way. Now, this is obviously a request which I just read out. Now I'm gonna show you on the screen. I'm sure you guys can see this. The council responding to him and agreeing with going forward in raising the council tax in that area, Worcestershire. Now the report reads at the very bottom, the last paragraph on the at the page on the right. I don't know, is it your right or my right? It's the page on the right. Okay, I can confirm that report, which is subject to approval for the House of Commons as a part of local government's finance. So the whole thing, that paragraph, obviously I just read. Now, when you go read the second page on the right, on the left, I believe it should be on your left. It's on my right, but it should be on your left, or whichever one. The last page at the very end, it says the government has not taken this decision to the government has not taken the decision to agree to this request lightly. So it must have been that Nigel Farage requested the government on this, because it says at the very top, "Dear Nigel." I don't know which Nigel it is over there in Reform UK. I'm not sure if there is another Nigel who requested this. Maybe there is, and we should go find him. Then we should scrutinize him. And if there is, I'm sorry, the real Nigel Farage. I'm sorry if I am obviously attacking you for no reason, but this needs changing. This needs fixing, because it looks like you are doing exactly the same thing that you promised us that you're not going to do.
Never once did I say we cut council tax.
You got to cut taxes.
Cut taxes.
Lower taxes.
We will cut taxes. We can do better for council taxpayers. Never once in the campaign did I say we'd do that.
Warwickshire Reform Party leaflet said, "We will cut your taxes." The Worcestershire Party leaflet said, "We will reduce waste and cut your taxes." That sounds like promises to cut taxes to me.
We will cut taxes. We will cut taxes. I knew it would be impossible given how tough the finances were.
At the local level, which is where indeed local elections take place, the leaflet said, "We will cut your taxes."
When I say something, I keep my word. Worcestershire's a total basket case. You know that. I know that.
Yeah, when he says something, he keeps his word. Have you heard that from some politicians? We've heard that multiple times. Politicians always say, "Hey, when I say something, I keep my words." And the crazy thing is, there's a lot of people at home who listens to those statements and be like, "Yeah, they do mean their words." And guess what? We get somebody like Keir Starmer, or guess what? We get somebody like Boris Johnson, or maybe we get somebody like Liz Truss, or maybe we get somebody like Rishi Sunak, or maybe soon enough we're gonna get somebody like Nigel Farage, because whenever they say something, they keep their word. They say they're not gonna increase taxes, and guess what? They request the government to increase council tax. And then they're going to come to us saying, never once, I promised you I was going to reduce it. It's like they see everybody, they see us, the constituents, they see us as like just a vehicle for them to get there. They see us as like the road. You don't really care about the road as much unless it's broken, right? Unless you really can't drive on it. Anything that works, you're going to just put your tire on there and you're going to drive. They see us as a way for them to get there. They don't really care about us. They don't really care about who they're stepping on to get to the top. They just get there. That's the whole point. And now the crazy thing is that when you get people like this in the Nigel Farage party now, when you get people like this who make a... This is 2014. This comment says, I'm going to read it out loud just in case you can't see it properly. This is Nadeem Sawari, right? Now, of course, he's obviously a part of the Reform Party. Probably promised a big job if they win. Probably going to become like a home secretary or some shit. Probably going to become like a ministry of maybe Ministry of Defense, I was going to say. Foreign, a home secretary, foreign secretary, I know that what's his name? Zia Yusuf is probably gonna be deputy prime minister, probably. Yeah, I think Zia Yusuf is promised a big job. You can tell the amount of energy he puts in. You can tell he's been promised a good, lovely job. But this guy makes a comment saying that no chance. Been a conservative all my life. And I will die a conservative. This is an allegiance. This is a pledge and allegiance to the party. Now, the reason why this guy can make the decision to move from a conservative to a reform is because he sees no difference of reform and conservative. He's still a conservative. And guess what? Maybe he might not die with a conservative logo, the real conservative logo. He might die on the reform. But guess what? It's just the same. It looks like it's just the same. And given that the conservative lied to the people for 14 years straight, promised people, oh yeah, no more this, no more this, no more this, and then they kept on doing it. Well, now we see Nigel Farage doing exactly the same thing, saying, hey, I promise you this, oh, I never promise you that. I promise you this, oh, I never promise you that. Maybe Nadeem Sawari has infected the place with the Tories, with the conservatism that he carries with him. Insane, folks. Something needs to happen. Something needs to change in the Reform Party because they're not going the right way. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Reform UK? Do you think they're going the right way? Comment down below. Do you think they're going the right way? Somebody says, Kim says, integrity is essential. Yes, I agree. Integrity is essential, but we've lost that now. We've lost that in politics. There's no sort of integrity. There's no sort of honor there when they're doing their work. They see everything as a fair game. They do everything and anything. They will do anything and everything to get themselves into the level where they can call themselves ministry of whatever, minister of something, or prime minister. They do anything. We have career politicians who have been in parliament for over 40 years, and they've done nothing. But somehow they are always there. They are always there. Their face is always in the picture. The face is always there. And they've done fuck all. Integrity, of course, is essential. And we've lost that. Long time. We've lost that for a very long time. What do you guys think about Nigel Farage? Do you think he's just playing the smart game? Because I see a lot of people from the Reform UK saying, oh yeah, he's just playing 5D chess. Really? 5D chess? Really? All right. Yeah, let him play. Let him play, I guess. All right, folks. Let's talk about well, I want to switch to Nigel. I want to switch to Keir Starmer. I think Keir Starmer deserves to be called out. He deserves to be put on the blast every single day, and he deserves for us to sit and talk about him and shout at him as loud as we can. Because this is a man who has lied to us almost every single time when he speaks. Before we transition to that, I want to stay on this Nigel Farage topic for a bit. I want to stay on this topic for a bit real quick. There is a councillor who resigned. A councillor who resigned on live television. A Reform UK councillor resigned on live television because Nigel Farage promised him that they were not going to raise any taxes. And of course, when you see something like this, you're thinking, all right, reduce waste and cut taxes. And then when you get in power, when you get elected as a Reform councillor, a county councillor, you promise this, and then you see your party doing the opposite. Of course, you're going to be pissed off. And if you still got some integrity with yourself, you still got some morals, and your heart is still resides to the people who believed your campaign and voted you in, well, obviously you're going to resign. And I'm not surprised of this. I expect this. Of course, we don't see this, so much time. We don't see this because politicians are used to just lie and get away with it. But this guy, David, actually resigned on live television. Everybody's like, oh, how could he do that? No, he did it because his heart still resides with the people. He did it because he's moral and he didn't sell his heart just to become a leader of some other party, just to have an affiliation or attachment to a party that doesn't actually represent what he promised the people it was going to do. Watch this video, folks. It looks like a joke, but he actually did it on live television. And he didn't even go back on his words as well. He actually resigned. So some people say stuff and they don't do it. This guy said it and he actually resigned after the television. Watch this.
Councillor David Taylor, you were deputy leader of this council until August. Did you know it was this bad?
I think if you go into politics with your eyes open and you do your research, you understand that there are issues at most councils, and unfortunately most councils are massively underfunded by central government, have been for many years. And my take on this, Elizabeth, is, I mean, I walked in here today as a Reform county councillor. I won't be leaving this studio as a Reform county councillor. I've had several issues with the running of the council from a political perspective and from an officer perspective. Council tax is one of those issues. I think we could have made decisions sooner. And I think leaving it this late in the day to make cuts and to expect people who are already very not doing so well, it's tough times out there today, to expect them to pay more council tax, I just don't think I can support that.
So you are UK?
As from today, I will be an independent councillor, county councillor. There are several other policy decisions that have been made that I don't stand by. And I can't stand by.
Is it a day where we're going to see politicians like this return? Is it a day where we're going to see politicians who will stand there and be like, all right, folks, my party promised you this, and they are messing up right now because they receive a donation from some random guy from Qatar, or maybe they receive a donation from random guy in America, and now they've changing their way. Now they've opened up their line and they're doing the things that they didn't promise you. I resign. Is there a day where we're going to see this thing become normal? A lot of people respond to this video thinking, oh my God, I'm surprised. Well, we shouldn't be surprised. This should be normal. They've manipulated us in a way. It's crazy how we hate, to be fair. It's crazy how people are surprised when somebody quits after, when somebody quits after when somebody leaves their party. After the party lies to, changes its ways. That shouldn't surprise us. That should be normal. Because when you go to a group of people, being parents, house homeowners, your constituents, you go to them and you're like, hey, we're going to do this, 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 we're going to do this. And then they look at it, then they look at the other party and they say, I actually want to go with you. And then they vote for you. And then you go to the party and the party comes up with a new way. What, are you expect to go back to those people and be like, actually, we changed our ways. Thank you so much for voting, though. You got a chance to vote again next election. Is that what you meant to do? No, you meant to resign and you meant to go back to the other person and be like, actually, my responsibility is on you. You hold me accountable. I told you my party was going to do this. And they're not doing it anymore. I've resigned because I made that promise with you. I made that covenant with you. when I was knocking on doors, when I was promised you to vote for me, and you voted for me. You put your one cross, one tick on my name because you believed I was going to do the thing that I said I was going to do. And now the party has changed its ways, but I will not. That should be normal. That should be it's like the fact that now we're surprised that this guy quit. It's just outrageous. It just goes to see how backward how manipulated we have, how they've manipulated us to the sense where we don't even ask for common sense anymore. But listen to this. There was a caller who made a call. I really like this girl. Julia. She's really amazing. I have to say. I say this all the time when I have her videos on. There's a caller who made a call on her show, and the caller was so. I mean, you have to say these guys. What did I say, guys? The public is awake. We're no longer just taking in whatever they give us. People are literally awake. People are tuning in on shows. People are tuning in on the broadcast. People are going out there and ask questions themselves. The public is awake. You no longer can manipulate us the way they did. Everybody, the country is so small right now in the sense where you have almost every single news outlet in your phone where you can find what's going on. You can do your own research, and everybody's becoming a little bit of I would say a journalist in a sense where they're always digging for themselves, and that is beautiful. Something that used to happen, but obviously we lost. Now it's coming back. It's returning. Listen to this call, folks. Just listen to this call. It's quite eye-opening for myself hearing that from coming from a normal guy who just made a call to a news broadcast.
Good morning to you. Are Tory defections like the latest from Suella Braverman, are they good or bad for Reform's appeal to voters?
Good morning, Julia. I'm afraid it's basically fatal. I've just left Reform. I've sent my resignation letter in. The first meeting
you've resigned?
I've resigned. I used to be old Labour, not this lot, old Labour. The first meeting, the inaugural, was 30 people. Yeah. 30 people, and a lot of people, politically homeless, many ex-Labour. All the subsequent meetings in about 6. Because quite clearly the people who were talking were rabid Thatcherites. It was like Nick Mail, the New Statesman.
Rick Mail, yeah.
Or Tory boy, Harry Enfield.
Yeah.
And they said to us, I'm sure you're all Conservatives. Well, actually, no, 2/3 of us weren't.
That's and that's the thing about Reform. It is it's got those red wall Labour seats, effectively. It's, to appeal to Brexiteers, again, working class, Labour voters, but it's also got, as you say, the right-wing Tories. It's very difficult when you grow beyond a certain size to be all things to all men.
No, not really. They sell themselves as country before party and the forgotten, the marginalised, ordinary white working class.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lie.
You think they're just Tories now?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what the public feel. That's what the public think. And quite frankly, Reform UK have actually suggest and proved those correct. In a sense where almost every single Tory that wants to save their job or want to get back in power or want to remain a little bit relevant, all they have to do is just pick up the phone and call Nigel Farage. Actually, all they have to do is just respond to the message that's been sitting there from Nigel Farage, because it looks like Nigel Farage is recruiting everybody. Every single person that they said they were not going to invite, they're inviting them. They said literally Nigel Farage and Robert Jenrick were literally rivals in a sense where they were going back and forth on Twitter, calling each other names. And now they are basically best friends. It was so bad to the point where Zia Yusuf threatened Robert Jenrick he was going to persecute Robert Jenrick. That's how bad it was. These guys were rivals. These guys were actually fighting. And we loved that because Reform was actually it was a different pie. It brought something that we didn't have. But since you're seeing the same people joining the same thing, you're thinking, hey, it's the same now. What? Don't be surprised if Boris Johnson comes back into politics and he joins Reform. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Rishi Sunak deflects as well. Are you going to be surprised? No. I won't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Kemi Badenoch knows. Oh, God. This one's going to be bad. Don't be surprised. Okay, can I even say this? Can you guys give me permission to say this? No, I think I got your permission, right? Don't be surprised if Kemi Badenoch sees that if Kemi Badenoch knows that she's going to lose the election and she's not going to win. Don't be surprised if she saves herself and join Reform. Don't be surprised, folks. All right. I needed to say that. But with all seriousness, folks, this is insane. I don't know what's going on, but I like the fact that this councillor quit. Because it shows to other people, that there is still some people over there who are in politics, who are representing a constituent, who are representing a group of people. It shows that there is still some hope. And it also shows that not all of them are just corrupt and power hungry. There's some people who just want to serve their constituent. They don't want to have all these fancy suits. They don't want to be invited to Davos. They don't want to be invited to the World Economic Forum. They don't want to be invited to all these, group organization that we never voted for. They don't want to be invited for all those things. They just want to represent their constituent the best way they can. They want to just deliver the stuff that they promised that they were going to deliver to their constituent. And I like that. And I think we need to bring that back, because that has been lost. We've lost that, folks. Shout out to David. Shout out to David, folks. Shout out to David, folks. Okay. Now, let's get to Keir Starmer, folks. I think Keir Starmer is having a tough day. Keir Starmer is having a really, really tough day, folks. Somebody needs to call in, check out. Is Keir Starmer doing okay? I don't think he's doing all right. I think Keir Starmer is not doing all right. Somebody needs to go out there and tell Keir Starmer, please, we need you to go. We got your legs. We grab you by the balls and we are pulling you out. You need to go. Keir Starmer would not leave. He's going to hang into power however long he can. And this is dangerous. It's not good. He will never leave. Now, Keir Starmer, of course, was giving a speech to his people, his Labour Party people, I guess. I'm not sure who was in attendance there. There was a lot of random people. Normal, just average people. They look more like a working class people to me. They look like some blokes that you'll find in a pub. Or maybe you'll find in a bus or somewhere nice. Cool. So, he was speaking to them, trying to basically save himself, telling these people that, telling his constituent that, hey, I will never leave. I will never leave. I will never walk away from the people that I was charged to fight for. That's what he said. And he's telling his people, the group of people that were there. Of course, he was also addressing the nation at the same time, since obviously it was broadcast everywhere. He was telling the nation that, hey, despite all the things that's come out about all the decisions I've made with Peter Mandison, Morgan McSweeney, and all the chief of staff that have resigned, Tim Allen, all the good people that have resigned from the Labour Party, despite all that, I'm going to fight strong and ever. And I just want you to watch this video. I want you to focus to the people who are in attendance there. Maybe he forgot to tell those people to smile or something. Maybe he forgot to tell people, hey, could you smile while I'm speaking? Could you clap as well while I'm speaking when I say something good? It looks like that was, they forgot to mention that to the people who were in attendance there. Focus on their face, folks. Focus on their face. And maybe because you can't see the face properly because the camera that they use, the lens that they use, it has a good autofocus to the point where it just focused on Keir Starmer. It blurred everything out. But just look at the people. The people look like they need to go somewhere. They look like they got a bus to catch. And this guy is just talking crap and they want to go somewhere. Watch. Listen to this, folks. It's a 3 minutes long video. I know. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. Just hold on. Just hold on. Just listen to it. Full on.
I've got the most working class cabinet in the history of this country sitting around my cabinet table. And I'm really proud of that. Really proud of what they bring to the table. Their personal journeys to get there. Their experiences. But it is utter nonsense to suggest that that means everybody gets a fair chance in life. Utter nonsense. I feel very strongly about this. I'm in that cabinet as Prime Minister, having come from a working class background, to be Prime Minister of this country. But that's the exception. That is not the rule. Even within my own family. My brother, who died last year, he had difficulties learning when he was growing up. He spent his adult life wandering from job to job in virtual poverty. This system, this political system, didn't work for him. And there are millions of people in the same boat. Children in poverty, young people who don't get the opportunities they deserve, millions of people held back because of a system that doesn't work for them, who are not given the dignity, the respect, the chance that they deserve. And I'm fighting for them. I am their Prime Minister, and this is their government. And I will never give up on that fight. There are some people in recent days who say the Labour government should have a different fight, a fight with itself, instead of a fight for the millions of people who need us to fight for them. And I say to them, I will never walk away from the mandate I was given to change this country. I will never walk away from the people that I am charged with fighting for. And I will never walk away from the country that I love. And that is the country who I truly believe we are, a compassionate, reasonable, live and let live country, a diverse country, where given half the chance, we'll help each other out. That is who we are as a country, and I want to serve every single part of that country. The country that I love. But the fight coming up in politics, the real fight, is not in the Labour Party. It's with the right-wing politics that challenges that. The politics of reform.
Yeah, of
the
course.
Politics of divide, divide, divide. Grievance, grievance, grievance. That will tear our country apart. That is the fight that we are in. And I will be in that fight as long as I have breath in my body.
Right, so that's the video right there. That of course I had to sorry guys, I have to put you through. But it's important to listen to. It's important to see as well. This is what Keir Starmer was. Obviously, this is what he did this morning. He gave out this speech to his people, and maybe he forgot to tell the people to smile, because it looks like these people were bored to death. Just look at this. This is a picture of the people. This is one of the pictures that we took. Could you see the people? Some of them are sleeping, folks. These people are bored to death. They don't even want to listen to this. Some of them are sleeping. Look at this. Look at this other one. It's a little bit clear. They don't want to be there. It looks like they don't want to be there, folks. Did he forget to tell the people, smile when I say something? Smile when I say something cool? You know, look a little bit awake. Even the Labour Party people don't even want to listen to him. They found him boring as well. Look at this. He said that these ladies are like, hey, could we end this thing right now? Here's another one. Yeah, a little bit of serious face from the guy at the front. But apart from that, everybody else is bold. They want to go home. Maybe they want to just drink their tea. This guy's talking. And the worst thing is that not only the people, not only the normal class people who are watching this, not only just, not only the people who we went to speak to, the people in attendance to this were not engaged. Even his own people, his own MP, don't even want to listen to him. His own MP, the Labour Party MPs, don't even want to engage with him. They see this guy as a guy who's clinging on to power and he doesn't want to leave. The Scottish Labour Party leader went out public yesterday calling him to resign. And today Keir Starmer was giving this depressed speech and everybody is half asleep. Listen to this MP. I think she said something really, I think she said something I agree with. And I think it correlates to this, to what I'm showing you here today. She says that Keir Starmer is on the rocks. His explanation is too hard to believe. His apology is too late. It's too little, too late. What does that have to say? Basically, she's just trying to be nice to say, hey, it's over now. You got to go. But listen to this full on. So then obviously you can listen to it full.
I would have to say that the apology that we've heard yesterday from the Prime Minister, from my opinion, is too little, too late.
It sounds like you're fed up, Kim.
Fed up is an understatement. Well, do you know, at the end of the day, Steve, Keir Starmer is the Prime Minister. He should be running the country, but we know that there are various people around Keir advising, and very badly, in my opinion, and that does include Morgan McSweeney.
Does Sir Keir Starmer need to go?
I think he's on the rocks. He's struggling. I think we've catapulted from one crisis to another since our election in 2024, Steve. There's just been one thing after another, the number of U-turns, and I just think, he stood at the dispatch box when Mandelson was appointed and said he had his full support. His leadership and how he makes judgments and decisions needs to be seriously questioned.
On the rocks, you mentioned there. So what would he need to do to pull himself back in your eyes?
Well, if I'm being totally honest with you, Steve, I don't know whether it's redeemable.
Wow. I don't know whether it's redeemable. He can't redeem himself. There's nothing else he can pull. There's no other tricks on his sleeve. The cat is out the bag. He can't redeem himself. He can't come here on his, redemption journey to tell the country that he's a changed man. He's received some good information from his chief of staff, or maybe his communicators, or whoever his advisors. But this is the problem that we have. His Labour Party peers don't even want to listen to him. They don't even want him to be in power. And even his closest allies, his closest people have resigned. This is where we are. His people have resigned. These two guys have resigned in under 24 hours. In less than 24 hours, these two resigned. These are not just regular folks. They're people. These are not just regular people, folks. These are guys who were in Keir Starmer's ears, advising him. Yeah, maybe Morgan McSweeney was a little bit, it makes sense, right, him to go. But Tim Allen left as well. You know why he left? There's no really concrete reason why he left, but we can all make out, we can all speculate. I think he left because he knows the leadership of it is not He left to save himself. That's what I would say. I would say he left to save his career. It's better for him to leave now because obviously, let's say if they fix it up, maybe he might come back in later. They might invite him later, but he left. You know how long he was there? He was there from September. So 5 months, and he's like, yeah, I'm done. He's seen 5 months of it. The guy's seen 5 months, and he was like, yeah, too much, I'm sorry. And he left. That's Tim Allen. And of course, we know Morgan McSweeney is the guy who advised Keir Starmer to ignore all the briefing about Jeffrey Epstein linked with Peter Mandelson. He told him, hey, don't even look at it. Appoint him anyway. And Keir Starmer like just appointed him. And now we're in this mess. And I think it's not just the Jeffrey Epstein thing that put Keir Starmer in this sticky situation. I think it's just his leadership, his call of judgment, almost everything. We've seen this during the grooming gang. We've seen this during the budgets. We've seen this during his U-turns. We see it all the time. He comes out with something and then tomorrow he changes his mind. And we don't know. Maybe one guy is telling him do this, another guy comes in and be like, actually do this. This is a problem, folks. But yeah, this is what we have. We don't have too many stories for today. We only had 3 stories. Keir Starmer and Nigel Farage. It looks like these guys are basically don't know what they're doing. Don't know what they're doing for sure. Now, guys, what do you guys think? Do you have any questions? Any super chats? Any questions before we run? I'm doing something cool today, actually, after the live. So maybe that's the reason why we didn't want to do a long story. We usually do like 7 minutes, 7 to 8 stories. Today we only did 3 stories, because obviously I got somewhere to run. So today I'm only doing 1 hour today. So in the last five hours, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. So let's talk in the chat, guys. What are you guys saying? Show me. Talk to me, folks. Talk to me. Let's see what you guys say. Mo is going to come out. He has to leave. Yeah, I believe a lot of things are going to come out very, very soon. There's more stuff that will come out. And but it looks like Keir Starmer doesn't want to leave. He doesn't want to leave. Because if he did, I don't know how he stayed here. He should have left the day that the Southport attack happened. That's when he needed to go. But he survived that part. So can he survive this one? I think he will. Not because he got a way to come back. No, I think he's gonna survive because he's just gonna carry on being the prime minister. He's anti-British. Yeah, to some extent, to some policies that is pushed. To some policies that is pushed, one might argue that is anti-British, yeah. True Finder says, Barack, did you see the two links of stories are put in the stream near the start, please? Bro, the chat goes up. There's been over 681 chat. So that is gone. So I can't really. The last thing I can see is like I can see the last 25 chats. So I can't see anything that you put at the start. He's in denial. Yes. Jennifer says he's in denial. Yes, the guy's in denial, bro. He thinks he can turn this around, but I don't think so. I think this is it. This is it for him, unless he can pull something really good. But I don't think the public will accept him. I think he's lost touch with the public. You can even tell by the pictures of those people who invited there. They didn't want to be there. They look sad. They look disappointed being there with him. You can tell they don't want to be there. Some of them are sleeping. Look at this. Some of them are sleeping. So, of course, unless I don't know what he will pull, I don't know what he can do to pull this around, but I think his time is done. He's come to an end. He's done. He's done. Let's see. He will be evicted from number 10. Yeah. Yeah, we can only hope so. We can only hope. We can only hope. But let's see this breaking news, folks. I think let me follow up with this breaking news of these young kids who got stabbed today. That is insane. So let me see what's going on. Breaking news. All right. This was published 1 hour ago. I hope they've updated. But these 2 young boys who got stabbed, I hope they survive. I hope they're good. But yeah. All right, folks. I might go live very soon. Make sure you tune in. Let me just quickly talk to you guys. I might go live very, very soon. Very soon, I'm gonna go live. Not very soon. I don't know. I don't know what time. I'm thinking of going outside, and I'm gonna show you something cool. So tune in. Stay active. But I'm not sure if I will go outside. If I do go outside, yeah, brace for something really cool. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Brace for something really cool. There's a private meeting going on. Yeah, I might go to it. So I might go to it. So brace yourself for some good. Something good, all right? But I'll let you, you'll see if I'm live today. If I'm not, then obviously I didn't go. But without further ado, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to the channel again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. This is The Baraka Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. We're here to stay. Despite all the censorship, despite all the push from YouTube, despite all the bullying from YouTube, make sure you like and comment. And of course, don't forget to leave a don't forget to subscribe. But I'm signing out. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. I'm always up to hearing what you guys think. But so Jamie said, ask hard questions. Yes, I do ask hard questions, but sometimes I feel like it's unfair because I do not like seeing a grown man. Most of these guys I engage with are like in their 60s, and I'm like in my 20s. And if I go back and forth, I feel a little bit of disrespect. I don't know about you, but I was taught not to talk back to adults. But in politics, I guess we have to shout at them. You know, order, shut up, man. I'm playing. So yeah, sometimes I do ask hard questions, but I always try to redraw it. I ask and I redraw, so I can keep it friendly along the way. But yeah, you've raised a good question. So if I do go outside today, I'm gonna make sure I ask hard question too. I'm not gonna tell you who will be at this meeting if I go, but just make sure turn the subscribe button, turn the bell on. If I do go outside, it's gonna be something cool. Make sure you tune in. But thank you so much, folks. Bye. Thank you so much.
They tried to erase the signal. They pulled the plug, demonetized, censored, shadow banned. That's what they did to us. But the truth, my friend, will always find the frequency. I call this Operation Airwave Liberation because I'm not just back, I'm broadcasting from ruined. But this time, the airwaves is mine. And this time, it's uncensored. I watched them strip everything that we built. No warning, no explanation, silence, just taking everything away. 300 plus videos, deleted, all gone. And if you think this is about community guidelines, you've not been paying attention. This is a war. This is a digital gulag dressed in a terms of service type of way. They want us gone because we're saying things that they don't like. Maybe we're asking questions because we're curious. They don't like the questions we're asking. Or maybe we refuse to play nice in this echo chamber that we're in. They first hit me with the algorithm. The video is not getting enough views. Then they hit me with the monetization. Well, no money for you. But guess what? They forgot to hit my will. They thought that'll be enough. It's gonna cave and it's gonna run away. But guess what I did? I rebuilt, I rewired, I learned the game behind the curtains and see how they operate. I'm not just back. We're launching Operation Airwave Liberation. No filters, No masters, just signals. The signal they tried to block, but this time is very strong. The wind can't even penetrate through this. This, my friend, isn't just about me. It's about all of us. Every single voice that's been cancelled, clipped and used in a wrong way by the media. From now on moving forward, I'm not just creating content anymore. I'm sorry. I'm building a resistance on camera, off grid and above the algorithm. And if you are watching this, you are the resistance. This channel isn't just a platform. This is a broadcast tower for the truth. I'm glad I'm back.